If you haven't heard, Euphoria, the HBO smash hit series following a group of teenagers as they engage in a lot of drugs, sex, and rock and roll. Just kidding. Kids haven't listened to rock and roll since that one Hoobastank performance. Zendaya stars as the series' protagonist and narrator. Her character, Rue, starts season 1 after having just returned from rehab. But now it's season 2, and today we're here to discuss episode 3. Spoiler alert, if you haven't already watched the episode, I will spoil for you, so beware. So one thing I noticed binging season 1 is that the show likes to focus each episode on one character's background story, flashing back to earlier in their life in order to give us a good perspective on who they are and how they've gotten here. And this episode we are getting flashbacks and focus on Cal, the gay father of Nate, and basically the bad guy of this whole show. Now I know, one of the consistent points of this very artistic feeling show is that there are no good guys and bad guys, just up people doing up. But let's be real, the guy who filmed himself having sex with a minor is the bad guy. Cal's flashbacks are interesting. It's kind of cool to see a high-quality HBO series give us their take on what it was like to be a closeted teen in the 80s. Today I learned gay men are totally perpetrators of the best friend crush that I thought lesbians had cornered the market on. Next you're gonna tell me gay men also drive Subarus and kick ass at softball. But oh my god, this dance. Just two best friends getting drunk, doing a Romeo and Michelle style coordinated dance to an INXS song. Thank you, Euphoria, for giving us this. But when Cal starts making out because he knows he can never be this version of himself in front of his father or really anyone else. Oh, they did it. The writers did it. They made us feel sorry for the bad guy. They did it. They made us feel sorry for the bad guy. Cal gets a call from his girlfriend who's been banging nonstop, letting him know that she's taken 3 pregnancy tests and hate to rain on your literal gay parade, but you're gonna be a daddy, Cal, and not the gay daddy kind of way. In the you're about to literally be in charge of a human child kind of way. I think we can all agree that's pretty much the universal teenage reaction to being told you're about to be a parent. We're back to present time and back with Rue, who's in one of her dancing moods, which I love when Rue dances. And since this is my first Euphoria video, can I just take a moment to appreciate how amazing Zendaya is in this role? Rue makes you feel all the emotions. You feel happy, you feel sad, you feel scared, you feel worried, you feel excited, you feel the tension, you just feel everything through Rue. All the while she's just dancing through life, living in her own world, and as you kind of feel like, God, maybe I should do some more drugs. Then some skinny chick with a needle sticking out of her thigh falls over and you think, oh yeah, I'm good with my legal weed and frozen margaritas at Mexican restaurants. No, thank you.
Rue? Are you high? I mean...
I'm gonna use that next time the wife wants to know what happened to that calorie counting thing I was blabbering on about 2 weeks ago. Haven't I mentioned how freaking funny Zendaya is? This little cutaway with Rue in the red jumper and the cough syrup in her pocket, being an instructor on how to get away with being a drug addict, just had me shaking my head at how brilliant this show is. It's just so different and unique, and I don't want to sound like an overly uncool fangirl, but it's a show about drugs that makes you feel like you're on drugs when you're watching it. That is some cool. Gia, Rue's younger sister, screams at Rue that she doesn't care about her, Gia, or herself, or their mom, or anyone really.
I love you. So please, just promise me. It's just gonna be weed and nothing more.
What was that? With the whispering. Damn, the show made me feel like Steve from And Just Like That. I had to put my ears right next to the speakers so I could understand what she was saying. And what Gia was saying at a whisper, probably because if she said it out loud, she would immediately know it was laughable, was, promise me you won't do anything more than weed. Damn, of course course it's not gonna be just weed up, but innocent Gia hasn't lived enough years to watch all 23 seasons of Law & Order SVU. She doesn't know. She doesn't realize weed's gonna be the crackers and brie to Rue's powdery white lines. Oh, Gia, no! Rue passes by Cal on her bike, and Cal's still jamming out to NXS. This made me think, am I gonna be rolling through town with my windows down, blasting Into Club by 50 Cent one day? Lexi realizes she's an observer and writes a play she then asks the principal if it's okay for her to put on. This one seemed a little weird to me, but I don't know, it's been a while since I've been in high school. Maybe these days you totally can just walk up to your principal and be like, yo, principal, I got a play I wrote last night, so, can I put it on? Great, awesome, see you later. Isn't that easy? Cassie keeps waking up at 4 a.m. every day to make herself hot enough for Nate to notice. The only problem is, Nate ain't noticing. I could not identify less with these high school archetypes. I thought about waking up a little earlier one time in high school to brush my hair or have enough time to put a decent outfit on, but it never happened. It was just 4 years of me rolling out of bed in my PJs. Jules decides she wants to get freaky with their passed out friend 2 feet away. Gotta say, probably the worst way to wake up ever, to 2 people's grunts while they're getting it on. Just not a pleasant alarm clock, you know? Just that skin rubbing, huffing and puffing sound. You almost hope it's like a wolf out there dressed in granny's clothes about to blow your house down. That would be better than, 2 people I know are just literally having sex while I sleep. Okay. And what was probably the funnest scene of this episode, all the girls except Jules meet up in the school bathroom to have a lively fantasy discussion on why Cassie is dressed to audition for the musical Oklahoma. As someone who grew up in Oklahoma, I've never seen Oklahoma. Heard it sucks. I just think musicals and Oklahoma public school system, just those 2 things we're not arts-driven public school systems, if you can believe that. There's not a lot of emphasis placed on the arts. It's kind of what can you do for me on the football field? And other than that, nothing else really matters. I do not think it's an uncommon thing. I don't think most people... I feel like a lot of my peers also have not seen the play Oklahoma. Okay, I wasn't gonna say anything, but holy Selena Quintanilla ball! Earlier in the episode, in the hallway at school, both Cassie and Maddie are wearing similar style outfits, and I was totally thinking oh god, that looks just like the outfit Selena wears in her Astrodome concert. And then later on in the episode, they totally play Como La Flor while Maddie's hanging out by the pool. I just love Selena Quintanilla so much. Como la flor, con tanto amor. Alright, that's enough of that. Cassie is now in a full-blown getting-it-on relationship with Nate, but it's still a secret, except to Nate's parents, who the show shows us are forced to listen to Nate banging Cassie. Is this what modern parenting looks like? A couple of 40-somethings drinking wine, listening to their son banging someone upstairs? Ugh.
10K? Deal. If you pay each girl 1,000, you can flip it for 20.
The way this show plays with fantasy and reality had me guessing 10 minutes after the deal took place whether this was a real thing that happened, but it happened. I was like, no, that drug lord lady didn't just give a high school kid $10,000 worth of drugs. No. And then when Rue was rolling down the street on her bike with the suitcase hanging behind her, I was like, dang, that drug lady did give her $10,000 worth of drugs. Rue takes her suitcase full of drugs to an NA meeting. Okay. I thought it was weird enough that she rolled it down the street behind her like a hot dog stand. This is a whole nother level. This is showing up to my house with a suitcase full of donuts. You're in trouble. I'm gonna sniff them out. Ooh, when they showed Jules hanging with Elliot, I totally thought they were gonna have these 2 hook up. But instead, Elliot just gave Jules the greatest line of all time.
Extroverted, weird, but also introverted and shy.
You're extroverted and weird, but also introverted and shy. If that isn't the doofecta of personality, I don't know what is. And yes, I just said doofecta. It's like trifecta, but with 2. do. The interaction between Rue and her sponsor at the end of the episode was interesting. Here you have Ali, this former drug addict who is trying to get this high school kid clean. But Rue doesn't want his help. Rue doesn't want to get clean. And when he tells her, if you say one more disrespectful word, she calls his bluff. And she's like, what? Are you gonna hit me? It left me wondering what their next interaction is gonna be like. Is he going to follow through and be done with her? Not long after the oddly normal, crazy drug dealer lady tells Rue, don't with my money or I will basically ruin your life, Rue proceeds to start consuming the product. Like, damn, Rue, you could have at least tried to enact phase 1 of the plan before you went straight to licking the fence strip. But I guess if there's one thing binging this show has taught me, it's that Rue is an addict, and addicts gonna addict. Conclusion. Okay, so I was really excited to start reviewing this show. Even though I've reviewed plenty of HBO shows before, Euphoria is just a different beast. It's artistic, it's the most spot-on portrayal of the beauty in ugliness and the ugliness in beauty I've ever watched. And to be honest, I probably normally wouldn't have just done a random episode in the second season like the way I did, but I kind of felt like doing that matched the whole roller coaster acid trip tone of this show. Kat not being able to dump the perfect boyfriend is a problem I feel like we've all gone through in our dating histories. There doesn't have to be a logical reason for you to break up with your partner. Sometimes you just want to break up with your partner. Relationships should be like when you go to a yogurt shop and you can pick out whatever you want. Can you imagine being at a yogurt shop and somebody's like, yo, justify them Fruity Pebbles and coconut flakes you chose. I like Fruity Pebbles and coconut flakes. I don't have to justify to you. It's the same way with relationships. At least it should be, in my opinion. I liked the flashbacks of Cal in this episode. They almost made him come off kind of weak and wimpy when there's 10-year-old Ashtray beating the crap out of him. And showing the flashbacks, you kind of got a better idea of how he ended up a closeted married man. Hands down, my favorite scenes were the sketch comedy, like kind of campy-esque scenes. The one with Rue being an instructor was, of course, awesome. And the one with Lexi where she has a fantasy about filming a documentary where they focus on the side characters of TV shows, like that felt pretty meta within the show. That was cool. I gotta say, watching this show is kind of a whole experience. You get sucked in so easily because the characters are juicy as and you end up just kind of going wherever the show wants you to go. Like when they want you to laugh, you laugh. When they want you to feel that sort of Jaws level tension of, ooh, is this person gonna get caught that person? Is this person gonna get caught having murdered that person? Like, and it works. Like, they build the tension and you are on the edge of your seat. The show brings every emotion in the world out of you quite successfully. And by doing that, it can be a little bit draining. At least if you're binging the show. But mostly, I find it's totally worth it. So what are your thoughts on Euphoria? Are you as amazed by Zendaya's performance as I am? Are you liking Season 2 so far? If you were a fan of Season 1, let me know in the comments. Well, I'm Amanda. This is my Really Gay YouTube channel, and I will see you next video.